Hello, everybody. Welcome to a whole new week. I'm Tara Larkin, and my guest today is Nora.Troy. Nora, welcome.
Thank you very much, Tara. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for having me on.
So tell us about yourself, Nora.
Okay, my name is Valla.Troy. I'm from Blackrock, County Louth. I am a children's fantasy writer, so I write books for kind of age 8 to 12-year-old, what's known as middle grade age group. I've been writing all my life. I think I started about 5 or 6 years old. This idea for a little girl finding a magic diamond popped into my head, and I started writing it. And so I've been writing ever since then. A few years ago, about 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago, I decided I should take my writing a bit more seriously. I had some short fiction published, but I wanted to publish longer books. So I did a master's degree in creative writing, and I specialized in writing for children and young adults. And then in 2021, my first book came out. I'm just going to show you The Lucky Diamond. um, and that was followed
Wait,
the next. Can you, can you see it?
not really.
What's wrong with my camera?
Wait, move it a bit backwards. There we go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So that's the first book, and then the second book came out the following year, and then the third book. Yeah. So that's a trilogy about five siblings who go on a quest to save a magical diamond, and they run foul of the very evil Queen Rose, and it's full of monsters and magic. And then this year I have a new book out just last month. Don't know, can you see that?
Move it a bit backwards again. No, can't see it.
Oh, how about that?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have it at hardback as well, and it's illustrated as well, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, so that's me. So I'm also the reading ambassador for Loud Libraries. I do a lot of school visits. I've been a judge on writing on book competitions as well. So that's me.
Ooh. And tell us about your new book, Lima and the Hobbit, is it?
Yeah, yes. So this is a story of a girl. It's set in the same world. So it's set in an imaginary country called Nivram, and which is a really dark, horrible place, and it's full with a kind of forest of monsters, and it's these kind of huge rocks going out at sea. They're a bit like sea stacks or big stone fingers in the sea, and they're called living rocks, and everyone's scared of them. But this girl arrives from another country. Her father has just died a few months earlier. Her only relative in the world is an uncle in this town, in this country. And he doesn't want her there. No one wants her there. Everyone's horrible to her. She's feeling very miserable and just wants to go home. And then she meets a magical little creature called a humbit, but you probably can't see. It looks like a glass bird. I'm sure you can't see it there.
I
But
can't see it, sorry.
yeah, see if you can get a better picture
Yeah.
picture of him here. Yeah, and she meets it, and it's got a mission that I can't remember. It's on a secret mission. I can't remember the mission. So she says she'll help it find its mission, and if it will help her get back home. But of course, there's a lot more trouble in store, and there's nasty rocks out at sea, and there's lots of danger. Now, can you see him?
Can't see it, move it a bit backwards. No, still can't see it.
Yeah, it's the light. The light's not great in the kitchen. Yeah, so that's what it's about. So it's really a story of friendship and family, and I guess the healing power of friendship, because when the times of darkness, having friends, really helps you get through them. So that's what it's about. So it's only just out.
And where can people get it?
You can get it in either on any online store, or you can get it through most bookstores. It's actually in Waterstones in Drogheda anyway, and you can go into any bookstore and ask them to order it in. So it's available
Ooh.
anywhere. Yeah. So if you like exciting fantasy stories with magic and danger and a lot of heart, this is the one for you.
And you had a educational book come out called Wildcat Summer. So can you tell us about that?
Oh, that wasn't mine. I just did a
Oh,
review
that
on
wasn't
that.
yours. That wasn't
Yes, no,
yours.
this brilliant
I
author
thought it
called
was yours.
Victoria Williamson's. No, 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 it was a book review. On my blog, I
Oh,
do
Okay.
weekly of children's books.
Okay. Um, could you tell us about your trilogy?
Yes, so this is a book. I got the idea for this book originally when I was about 5 or 6, and I wrote it. I sat down at the kitchen table
Five
and
or
I got,
six?
yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And I had this idea about this girl and her family. I'm one of 10 children, so this little girl had 4 siblings, so another big family. And she finds this magical diamond who says, "Help, I need your help to get home." And she asks this little girl and her family, who live in this really horrible town, surrounded by the forest and monsters, and she asks for their help to get home. So they go off on this quest. But they have
Hmm.
inherited from their mother, each of them have a magical gift. So one of the characters has a flute that plays music that will, make you feel happy if you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling tired, will make you feel better. And someone else has a telescope which can see in the dark and can hear people who are far away as well. And another of the children has a magical compass, which you never get lost. But it's not just getting lost. If you're in trouble, or if you're being chased by the town guard, as happens a bit in the story, it will show you the best way to get home. And then another sister has got a little key, and she doesn't know what the key is for. She thinks it's a bit of a useless present to get, but of course there is a very good use for the key, as she finds out in the book. And then in their brother, he doesn't have any. All these gifts came from their mother, and he doesn't have any, or else he's lost it. He can't remember. But that
Hmm.
has a happy ending too. So they go off on this quest to help this magic diamond get back to her home. And this is a diamond about this size, it's a sentient, living, speaking diamond. And she doesn't tell them that there's an evil witch called Queen Rose, who is chasing after them and will do anything to stop them. So they have to
Hmm.
survive Queen Rose. They have to survive all the dangers they meet on the way, which is things like, living rocks and these kind of whirlpools that will try and sink their ship. And there's all kinds of monsters they meet on the way that they have to get through. And they meet lots of other magical creatures as they go along as well. So it's kind of the classic fantasy adventure. And then in book 2, they defeat Queen Rose. They stop her evil plans in book 1. In book 2, she's back and she wants revenge, and they have to tackle her again. And then in book
Hmm.
3, they actually go into the forest of monsters, and they go into it and see what you have to find out what happens then. And it's kind
Oh,
of takes
wow.
the 3 books kind of sees the complete overcoming of Queen Rose, so she can do no more evil at the end, or can she? Who knows? It might be another book. But yeah, so that's that story. It's just adventure, lots of magic and monsters.
And if you could give one piece of advice to any person, what would advice would that be?
Well, my advice would be, well, this I suppose is really for writers, that if you are start a story, always finish it, even if it's hard, it's worthwhile, because if you finish the story, you'll have something to come back to. And I suppose that's something you can apply to life in general, but also as
Hmm.
well, the piece I got of advice I got recently was um, don't compare yourself to other writers, and don't compare your books to other books. Just compare yourself to what you were like, yes, to where you were yesterday, and try and do better. So I think every day you try and do better than the day before. So every book I write, I hope it is better than the previous book, because it's a journey. You'll never write the perfect book, but you're on a journey towards that goal. So every time, the more you write, the better you get, and that's, I think, important advice to people too. Don't compare yourself to others. Just try and, work on your craft and make yourself a better writer.
Ooh. And I think that's about it. So, unless there's anything you want to add.
Yeah, I would just say to end, if there's any young writers out there, I would recommend that apart from reading and writing, that you and meeting up with other young writers and sharing your work, it's a good idea to read about the craft of writing. And I have a free guide on my website, create a free creative writing guide for young writers. In fact, I've got 3 of them. And if you go onto my website, Valla.Troy.com, you can sign up and get a free copy of those and to help you on your writing journey. So if you want to check it out.
Okay, so thank you, Valinor, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Subscribe today. Bye bye.
Right, thank you, Tara. Bye.